Yeah, pretty much just half the time I realize how we start off, it's like me just tired of nonsense. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So anyway, the episode starts off with Ishiro just standing, just vibing his own business, and then suddenly, Homura, Joe, Mira, and then Bundario just show up, just happily disturbing his peace because they're off going to do something related to Ballora, which, yeah, this show is really good at just bringing back random plot points, which, yeah. So, then this child named Hirose shows up. I almost said Hiroshi, but no, his name's Hirose. And he's like, I want to be a bird that's a blue, and then Ishiro screws off, and Mira's like, let's just make Joe your apprentice, and your master, okay? So, naturally, well, they did consider Gemba, but Gemba and Bundario screwed off to that Ballora thing, which didn't get any focus at any all, but that happened. So, naturally, it was just Joe, Hirose, and Mira just doing cop things, I guess. And so, after that whole predicament, Joe attacks a burglar who wasn't actually burgling, he was just doing acting, guys. It's perfectly fine if it's acting. And then Hirose's like, wow! You guys are supposed to be perfect! And Joe's like, no, we're not! Bro, no one's perfect, man! And so, naturally, it cuts off to the villains, which the monster of the week is a scale, and it scales, like, embarrassing things. I thought it would just make fun of fat people, but no. I mean, it would be funnier, but I would like to remind you that this is a Japanese show, so, therefore, the obesity rate is pretty low. Yeah. I guess that's relevant to why they made it embarrassment. Because, you know what they say? Honor! That's all, why not? So, naturally, the skill monster asks people about embarrassing things like the amount of boyfriends you have, the amount of times you failed your driver's test, yeah, the lowest you got on a test score, which is somehow -10, which, that raises questions. How do you mess up so bad that you get negative? Yeah, I need answers. But no one will explain. And so, Hiroshi's like, I did an embarrassing thing once when I was 9. Well, actually, like, Hiroshi's actually 9, so, yeah. And, yeah. So, Hiroshi and his brother were just vibing at the playground, and his brother's like, I'm thirsty, and naturally Hiroshi went to go get some liquids. But then his brother broke his school. I think, sort of. It's implied? He might have even died, but not completely sure. Like, I mean, if he did, like, fall on his face, then, hey, he gets a neat little scar like I do. But this time, not from falling off of a fucking, playground equipment. It's instead falling on the sidewalk, which is, way more embarrassing. But at least you have a eyewitness now, but that eyewitness was like fucking 3, so you're like the only one that can actually remember it. Because one is dead and the other was 3, so, yeah. You get no context for that. That just happened to me when I was 5. Anyway, so, naturally, Joe admits his embarrassing thing what he did when he was 9. That, burning his dad's police coat because Joe's dad said it was cold. What the heck? Also, another problematic hear me out for me, Joe's dad in that flashback. Help. Great. So then, one neck fight later, yeah. And that's how the episode ends. With also Bundario and Gemma coming back from the Laura situation with a bunch of the Laura merch, including a tie for Ishiro. He's like, nah, I don't need it. And Ripley, yeah, it's fair. It's a bit goofy for him and his calm, collected demeanor compared to that goofy necktie. Yeah. Also, I did not do this with, like, notes or anything, and somehow I've hit, like, 6 minutes. Impressive! For just one episode. Also, I had this episode since, like, Wednesday, but I forgot to review it until now because procrastination. Procrastination is a bitch. That's all.